Hi there, y'all. I want y'all to see my pretty flowers. I have some really pretty flowers. They're really pretty, and I like them. And I want you to see them. But I don't know, but it's happening. Oh, the light is not good. Okay, here's what's happening. This is what's wrong. Good morning. I don't know who that is, but good morning. I'm really into my flowers that I got yesterday, and they can't be seen. They're so pretty. I love wildflowers. I just find them to be the most beautiful things. And okay, it is what it is. So, good morning, everyone. I'm the Moon Mama. And let me open up the Instagram feed as well. Oh. That's not what we wanted to see. All right, here we go. We're getting it in this morning. I feel like the lighting is better and Instagram is going to be able to see my flowers. All right, y'all. Peace and blessings. Hi, Devin. Good morning, Jordan, Michelle 20. Grand Rising, Devin. How are you doing? Hello, you all. We are here Monday morning and things. So I'm getting ready to take the African ancestry test, and I'm so excited. Hi, James. Hey, Stacy. Um, excited to take the test, and then I got it and realized that I ordered the wrong one, and they were like, "You can give it to your son or your brother." I was like, "I want to know about me." Like, we can know about them later, next, but me first, please. And the test cost about $300, so it is an investment. But then I called them and they said they just reorganized my registration and made it a matriarchal test. And so I'm going to do it today. And I have to take all of these swabs and swab my mouth and then send them in. And I'm excited. I'm excited. And why am I excited? There really is something to being a Black person and not really having a true identity. And the moon is in Aries, and today is the day that governs the moon. And not having an identity of where we come from. There is something very significant about that. Hi, Pat. And as much, I also love not having, like not knowing where I come from in Africa or anywhere. I love it too because it makes me know that I'm a child of the universe. It doesn't matter where I really come. It doesn't, because I come from the stars. I come from the heavens. I come from all things. I'm from everything. And I honestly like not being overly identified with some sort of like I'm from any place, like what I guess like heritage or my language is leaving me right now. But I really like not being overly identified with sort of a place or a country. I like it. It gives me a sense of expansiveness, is what I want to say. And when I talk to people who are, I'm not the kind of person who's so much of anything that's earthly, right? Like, people who are really committed to these identities. I find that it creates a restriction in my ability to flow, and my ability to think, and my ability to expand. Yes, I am a child of the universe, absolutely. But I am excited to learn about this because I really do believe that we carry so much power in our DNA. And I'm excited to learn about where my DNA is from so that I can then begin to really cultivate the energies and the power and the frequency of that particular land. Because, gosh, this is so interesting. I don't know who that is calling me. Because of that particular land. And I'm just excited to do it. So I'm going to do that later on today. And I think it takes like 90 days for you to get the results. So it'll be a little bit wow. But today the moon is in Aries and it's at the final degrees of Aries. It's going to go into Taurus tomorrow, and today is a moon day. And we're in the first quarter phase. The first quarter phase, the moon has 8 phases. Um, and those phases consist of first quarter, last quarter, new moon, full moon, and then the waxing gibbous and the waning gibbous, and then the waxing crescent and the waning crescent. And each phase is an opportunity. You can't hear me. You can't hear me? You guys can't hear me? Hold on one second. Let's see if I've done something wrong. Hold on. Bluetooth. Let's see. Okay. Can you hear me? Can you hear? No sound? Really? Nobody has any sound? You guys can't hear me? That's so interesting. That's so weird. I don't know why. All right, I'm going to go back and come back. I'm going to go and come back. What's going on? All right, let's see. Rewind 30 seconds. No sound. Okay, let me go and come back. Okay, you guys on YouTube, I'm going to leave there and come back. Delete the video. Discard. That's not what we wanted to see. Okay, we're going to start again. You can hear me on YouTube, but not on Instagram. All right. Well, let's see if that's better. I don't know what happened. I don't know why that's the case. Okay, so let's see if that is working. Okay, can you hear me? Let me know if you can hear me. I'm back. You can hear me. If you can hear me, say so. Okay, great. So, so I was talking about identity. Aries, the new moon, I mean, the moon is in Aries, and Aries is the energy of our identity. It's who we say we are. It is the power of the I am presence. And we tend to be in our culture very lackadaisical about these energies and these archetypes just because we've not been educated about them. That's the only reason why we're lackadaisical, because we just have not been really formally educated on how energy works and how we are to communicate with it and how it communes with us. So the identity thing is very important. And because we have not been fully educated and conditioned into understanding how this works, we tend to overly identify with our roles. We tend to, I am a Black person. I am a mother. I am this person's friend. I am an attorney. I am a doctor. We tend to over identify. And those are ego things, because the earth is really an the earth is really an opportunity for us to come and allow our spirits and our egos to play. But really what we are, our true identity is the divine. I am the I am presence. That's really all. That's really it. You know what I mean? One of the roles I have is I am Monique, or I am a coach, or I am a mother. But these are not identities. They are really roles, that characters that we take on, right? And then we behave a certain way in alignment with the character of the role that we have that we have assigned to ourselves, that we have accepted, that we have created, that we have agreed to. And there is an opportunity for us to always be allowing these roles to die, like regularly allow the consciousness to die to the old and be born to the new, because these roles, these characters that we take on, come from historical reference points of what does it mean to be a mother? What is a good mother? What is a good wife? What is a good Black person? What, like, these ideas? What is a good, right? Or what is a bad? What is this? So when we overly identify with the external reality, we get ourselves stuck. Um, we get ourselves sort of trapped in ways of being that keep us stagnant, that don't allow us to shed. And so right now we're in a time of shedding, where we're shedding old identities because Venus is in Pluto. So we're shedding, really, and it's a deep thing because it's about your feelings, right? Because Venus conjunct Pluto is about how we feel, and ultimately it's how we feel about ourselves first and foremost. And so you want to create an environment that allows you to really cultivate your relationship to yourself, so that a new identity can be born, so that you can, um, so to say, resurrect the highest version of yourself over and over again. This is not something that you do just one time. You want to be able to do it over and over again, because as the sun and the moon move through the constellations, you become different. You age, you grow. It's so interesting. Yesterday, as I've been doing the work to really transform myself into who I truly am, who I am authentically, I've been very far away from my family and friends, which has been challenging but necessary. And yesterday I saw my son, and I hadn't seen him in a little while because he lives with his father. I hadn't seen him in person. I talked to him regularly, but I hadn't seen him in person. And when I saw him, I was just so aware of how much his energy had changed. The child in him is beginning to shed the part of him that needs me in the ways of, like, that I've mothered him in the past, is beginning to shed, because we die to the old and we are born to the new. And as we mature and we get jobs and families, it's important for us to really be regulate our own process of renewing our identity. It's important for us to be intentional, because otherwise we'll get stuck and ways of thinking and patterns and ways of doing things that become outdated. And we are still in an old dimension, in an old time zone, in our mindset. And as the new age comes in, as the age of Aquarius begins to really anchor into the 3D reality with Saturn moving through Aquarius, what we're being asked to step into is our divine idea of ourselves, into your divinity, into your God self. And that also is an ever-changing process. The one of the things that I love about astrology is that it's never the same. Even though the moon is in Aries, the last time the moon was in Aries, the sun was in Scorpio. So the moon is in Aries again, but not the way that it was last month, because the sun is in Scorpio and Mercury is moving into Capricorn. So all the energies and angles are different. Everything is a new configuration. And so we are here to be constantly in a process of reconfiguring ourselves. Now, that's challenging for people who are Tauruses, because Taurus is a fixed sign, Leo is fixed, um, Aquarius is fixed. These fixed energies might have a more difficult time reconfiguring yourself, because the a sort of a sameness shows up, but you can do it if you have an intention to do it. You literally just shift, decide, like, I'm going to change my diet a little bit. I'm going to do this in the fall that I don't do in the winter. I'm going to do this in the spring that I don't do like, really find ways, be intentional about ways to shift your behavior, so that you can take in the new energies that will allow your identity to stay in your growing edge, to stay in your constant way of becoming, so that you can be refreshed, right? And it will show up in your life. So I notice, as I begin to really question, so to say, I might question the way I'm relating, right? So this last year, I've been looking at all of my relationships, the value of them, how I've shown up, the benefit, what I get, what's the exchange here, and understanding that, I noticed that most of my relationships sort of had this thing where I was friends with a lot of people just because they sort of came to me and wanted to be friends, and but I didn't really, because they were friendly, then a relationship ensued, a friendship, a relationship, a love affair, or any of that. But then I'm asking myself, well, okay, I was friends with this person at that time, but really, what's the value of it now? Is there still something that is congruent between us? Is there still something that is valuable? Because my identity is changing, the moon in Aries, the identity is changing. Does who I am becoming, is it suited to this experience, to this relationship, to this job, to this way of being, to these clothes, to this, always redoing your identity and being in the growing edge of your own consciousness so that you don't become too attached to the 3D reality. Because when we become too attached to this 3D external experience, we lose connection to our inner self. And our inner self is what we're actually here to bring into the experience, right? So if you get stuck, too focused on the 3D reality, what you have, the people, all of that as it is, you're not in doing the work internally to churn your energy to bring out the new things that are also necessary for you to express in this lifetime. So the moon is your inner world, and Aries is beginnings. It is action. And so we're in a first quarter phase, and the first quarter phase means that it's time to take a new step, to do something different, to literally give yourself a new opportunity to take on new things. Devin says, thank you so much. I learn something different every time you speak. This is why I tune in every day and bring value every day. Thank you, Devin. I really appreciate that. And so, because we are in the first quarter phase and the moon will go into Taurus tomorrow, you want to be thinking about, the sun is in Sagittarius, right? And so the sun in Sag is your faith. It really is how you access God. Your religious practices that help you access the newness. What are you doing? Are you meditating? Are you journaling? Are you doing breath work? Are you your spiritual practice is yours, right? I go and hug trees. Like, I have a family of eucalyptus trees in my neighborhood. I go and put my hands on them. That is my spiritual practice, to really connect to nature. I go breathe in, put my feet in the grass. I do things that are deliberate to honor my nature and how I'm connected to nature. Your spiritual practice is yours. Nobody can tell you what that is. The ocean, yes, I need the ocean too, girl. I've been trying to move myself back to the ocean. I've been trying to move to the west side and just got clear recently. And my spiritual practice, the spirit is like, you're not going anywhere. You're going to be in mid city. You're not going, you can drive to the ocean. You're not moving to the ocean. So really understand what your needs are. I always have flowers, like, oh my God, look at these pretty flowers, right? This just reminds me of the goodness of God, the goddess, and how beautiful she is and how she can recreate herself countless ways, with flowers and birds and me and you, and all of that is an opportunity for us to really bring sacred practice, right? Sacred practice to your everyday life. Otherwise, you're in the constant rat race and competition and not having enough and needing more. And that's why you have to understand that you never, the need for more is an internal thing. It's not an external thing at all, ever. Whenever you want. What types of flowers are those? Pretty ones. I don't know the names of them. I didn't grow them myself. So I just like them. But these are purple and they're just pretty. I don't know. So I guess I have an app that I can look that up and find out. So you want to be in a constant state of renewing your identity. And one of the things that you can do easily with that is nature. Nature is an easy way to renew your identity. Um, and like I said, it's this because you want to be able to drop, we have a lot of stories, and we're here, and many of us are wanting to really create success in this life. Um, oh yeah, I live in Laker Town, and I used to love Omegas when I was in college. Long time ago. Oh my God, that's such a funny story. One day I'll tell it about how I slept with everybody. It's really interesting, our relationship to our sexuality, and how I think the thing that I'm so become so aware of is how misinformed we are about our energy. And so it uses us until we learn how to use it. And our sexuality is one of the ways that our energy is really compelling. And so, when we're young, and that that young sort of romantic energy, it's extraordinarily compelling. And um and when I was released into college, no one said, I just didn't know how to be with it other than to use it for sensual connections with beautiful men. And I had a good time, and it was fun, and I'm glad I did. So, um all right. I don't think I have much more to say today. The Aries energy, first quarter phase, do something different. The first quarter phase means that it's time to make a new choice. And it really is a fork in the road. It literally is a fork in the road. So here's the thing that I am doing so I can share with you guys how I use this energy. So it's a fork in the road. We're going into the full moon, and we're going into the full moon. And so this energy is asking us, as we prepare for the full moon, what's the thing you're going to do? What's the thing you're going to do? This month, we're having a full moon in Gemini. And the Gemini energy is your thinking. It's your perceived reality. And so we're in the moon in Aries, we have Taurus moon, and then Gemini moon. And so the Gemini, it means the energy is coming in full for Gemini, which means your perceived reality. And then what's the new reality you want to create? What is it that you want to be experiencing? So for me, I know, like, I'm going to focus my energy on um, doing events, doing live events. I'm starting a new relationship with a beautiful soul in our community who has space where we can do events and healing circles and things like that. So I'm going to be focusing my energy on that. So literally, I will spend time today writing it out. Like, what will it look like? How many people? What will be the cost? What are the intentions? What are the things I want to focus on? What are the things I want to help people do to renew their energy, right? So I will literally create a vision and write it out for my new thing that I'm focusing on, because the split in the full first quarter phase means it's time to do something new. And the moon is in Aries. So, what is that new thing? What is it? And it can be really simple. It should be really simple. It should not be a huge thing. It should be a simple step from where you are, right? So, I have done all the work to get myself to this place where now I'm going, I'm coming into the external. I've done all the work already. So, wherever you are in your process, what is the next step for progress, right? Your next step might be that you need to do self forgiveness work. Your next step might be that you need to, clean your house. Your next step might be that you need to go to the dentist. You know what I mean? Like, really, for wherever you are, what is your next step? And that is what you want to be focusing on while the moon is in Aries and we're moving into a Gemini full moon. And because the Gemini full moon is about your mind, your thinking, how you speak, right? You want to be speaking about what you're doing in a positive way. Like, I love going to the dentist. Every time I go to the dentist, my smile gets better, and my dentist is so gentle and kind, and it just feels so good to be cared for and loved and taken care of this way. You want to really be intentional about what you're doing and then how you speak about it, because it is in the speaking about it that you are generating the way you are creating it. Okay? All right, y'all. So here's what I want. Here's what I have. I have a full moon ritual in Gemini that is going to be Friday evening. I'm going to put the link for my link tree here, and I'm going to have that. And then the next leg of the Venus retrograde in Capricorn class is starting. Um, and so the first leg is for people who really wanted to make sure they were ready for the energy, right? The second leg, everybody can come. It starts on the 19th. The class is $111. And then the last leg starts. Let's see when the last leg starts. The last leg starts on the 29th. So this energy for the Venus retrograde in Capricorn is probably some of the most significant energy that we're going to face. We're also starting a Mercury retrograde shadow in the next couple days. So we're going to have Mercury retrograde and we're going to have Venus in retrograde. And the full moon ritual is not in person. The next new moon ritual in Capricorn on January 2nd will be in person. The full moon ritual is virtual. Okay. But we're going to have another Mercury retrograde. So this next 8 weeks is very significant for us to really bring our attention to the deeper transformations that need to occur in our lives, within our own minds and hearts. And it's personal and it's internal. And this work can happen with ritual. And it's not about you. Like I talk to people a lot right now whose jobs are doing all sorts of stuff. This is not about you, having to go quit your job or anything like that. This is about doing the internal work so that you can get clear about what steps you're taking, what spirit is doing within you, and where you need to go for your next, the steps you need, but they're internal. We often look at the external and think, I need to do this. And then it's an internal thing. You've got to get clear about how you feel and the vision. And the classes help you do that so that you can then take the actions moving forward. So I don't have any of the classes in my link tree yet, but I will put them in my link tree so you can register. Hi, Ernesto. You've been on my mind, so you heard the message because I've been calling you intuitively. I love that. Let me tell you, I love when I send out a signal to the people who live their lives this way, and then they get the signal and come. I really love that. Okay, so that is all. That is it. All right, peace and blessings. I love you all very much. Whoever just joined, you can go back and listen to the recording. And I love you all very much. I don't have anything else to say. Okay, bye.